All right, so here's another workout, a total body workout that you can do at home with some dumbbells, a bench, and a band that I'll show you in just a second. Actually, a big rubber band. We're gonna do this workout is broken into 3 series. So the first series is going to be like a total body. It's more kind of a warm up, but you can make it as challenging as you want. It's going to consist of 3 exercises. Basically working, the first exercise is kind of working the anterior chain or all the muscles in the front of the body. The second exercise is activating or working the posterior chain, all the muscles in the back of the body. And then the third exercise is working kind of your rotational line, you could say, rotational component or movement pattern. All right, let's dive in. So again, you're gonna do these as a series. So you'll do these as 3 individual circuits. Perform these 2 to 4 sets of each exercise in each series, or 2 to 4 series. Again, as I've mentioned before, you can do 8 to 12 repetitions on the first set. Maybe do 10 to 15 on the second set. If you don't have a whole lot of weight, maybe you're bumping that up to like 15 to 25 on that third set, in additional sets. Err on the side of less and more. Let's dive in. All right, so the first in this series is the thruster. All right, so we're gonna do a front dumbbell front squat. So feet, heels shoulder width apart, feet slightly turned out. We're gonna sit back into that squat, coming down as far as feels right for you. It may be here, right? And then you're coming up, and as you come up, you're gonna press. And again, especially if you have any shoulder issues, you may not turn out, right? You may just keep that, almost like you're putting a box on a shelf. So we're gonna squat, overhead press, squat, overhead press, right? Squat, overhead press, squat, overhead press. Next one we're gonna do is a ball hip thrust to pullover. So we're gonna take your ball, take your dumbbells, right? Walk on out. Make sure you feel solid and secure. You're gonna come all the way out to your head and neck or just comfortable on that ball. We're going to, let me make sure you can see me. We're going to drop the hips as we reach the arms overhead, coming into a little bit of a stretch. And then you're gonna drive the hips up as you bring the arms overhead. So we're gonna lower down, gentle stretch, and drive up. Lower down, gentle stretch, and drive up. Lower down and stretch, and drive up. You can do the same thing on the floor if you just don't feel comfortable on the ball. And if you don't feel comfortable on the stability ball, don't do it. And also just make sure that the surface that the stability ball is on is solid as well and has grip, because if it doesn't, that ball's gonna slip out from underneath you. So again, on the floor, same thing, right? We're just gonna reach the arms overhead, and then as we come up, we'll drive the hips in. Reach the arms overhead, drive up, bring the hips up. Now again, these are more like a total body warm-up. The ball is running off. Yeah. All right, so the next one in this series is a seated rotation, right? So what we're gonna do is, and I've done this before in another video, and you could add all kinds of crazy variations to this. You can do this standing, you can do this on one leg, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna, in this seated position, right, we're gonna find a neutral pelvis, find a nice braced core. You're gonna extend that ball out, and you may be, your dumbbell, you may be just elbows into the ribs and just rotating from here, right? If you want more of a challenge, maybe extend those arms out and you rotate, doing the same thing. Just make sure, again, the core's engaged and you're not coming from the back, right? So to a certain extent, it may help to get a little bit of a tuck in the pelvis while you're doing this. Now, if you want more of a challenge, right, just extend those arms, right? Rotate, rotate. Exhale as you twist, inhale back to center. Exhale, twist, inhale back to center. Right? And you're not really rotating far. I think 10 to 15 degrees, back to center. 10 to 15 degrees, back to center. All right, so that's the first series in this workout. And you're gonna just do those in succession. You'll do the thruster, you'll do the hip thrust to pullover, and you'll do that ball rotation, anywhere between 2 and 4 sets, or 2 and 4 circuits. All right, so the first exercise in the next series, again, you got 3 series in this workout. is you're gonna do a wall sit. Now, this is not by any means the most ideal thing to do a wall sit on. This is probably horrible, especially maybe if you're a little, if your balance is not so great. The last thing you want is something that could potentially move. But it's what I got right now. So from here, what we're gonna do is stand nice and tall. You're gonna walk those feet out about a foot and a half, a foot to 2 feet or foot and a half to 2 feet distance away, heel distant. Your heels are about a foot and a half to 2 feet distance away from the wall. So when we sit down, again, as deep as feels right for you, your knees come no further than 90 degrees, right? And so again, if this is new to you, or maybe you're just maybe a little deconditioned, or if you got knee issues, maybe you're staying up a little bit. Just make sure you feel solid. We're gonna time this. We're gonna time this for 60 seconds, right? You can time it for 60 seconds. And again, just make sure you can slide up and out. Now, if you wanna up the ante on this, there's a few ways, right? So number one, you can always go single leg. For those of you. Number one, you can always go a little bit deeper. Again, just make sure you feel solid. Number two, you can always go single leg, right? Number three, a way that you can kind of work your core a little bit more on this, right, is to hold something out in front of you. You can always bring it in a little bit, even a little bit closer. I think a friend and colleague calls this the electric chair, I believe. It's pretty brutal. Right, the other thing you can do is you can just go for a longer period of time, right? But those are ways you can up the ante. Now we're gonna pair this with just a push-up, right? So again, and we've done these in other videos. For those of you who need to, right? Maybe you're using a bench, maybe using a countertop, right? I mean, these are two things that, I mean, pretty much anybody can do against a wall. And if you're deconditioned, right, you can even put like a stool or a bench underneath you, so if you need to come down, you can sit down on it. A counter, a coffee table, a counter, or a desk are ways that you can, you can modify your push-up. So, but again, what we're gonna do, shoulders back and down, elbows slightly in. I like to say 10 and 2, right? Kind of that whole old driver's ed thing. Hands at 10 and 2, not here, right? 10 and 2, right? When you're doing your push-up. It's just a better position for your shoulder joint to be in. And then we're gonna go no further than elbows in line with your ribs. And you're gonna press up and out, right? Again, for those of you who want, come on down to the floor and do the same thing. Obviously, if you've been doing push-ups for ages, modify it any way you want, come on down fully. But for those of you, especially if you have shoulder issues, right, you're gonna go just to where your elbows in line with your ribs or elbows in line with your shoulders, no further. So again, same thing here, anywhere between 2 and 4 sets on those push-ups. First set 8 to 12, second set 10 to 15. For those of you who wanna blast it out, maybe you're going 15 to 25 on that third set. All right. All right, so the last series that we're gonna do in this workout, again, we're 3 series. You're gonna do a step up to knee raise. I'm gonna show you again, and we've done this in videos as well. Again, this is just some simple stuff that you can do with pretty minimal equipment. Again, you can use a chair if you're super, strong, you got great mobility, and if, or maybe you're using a small step, or most stairs are about 7, have like a 7-inch riser, so they're pretty, pretty manageable for most people. So again, you kind of pick your poison. What we're gonna do is, right, so options, right? Number one, you're just doing a step up. Real simple, real easy, right? If you want to make this more challenging and you don't have weights, right, you can always focus on the negative or lowering phase. Slowly lower down. Don't let that foot touch, but let it hover right over the top and then come back up, right? Slowly lower down and then come back up. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, you can always add your dumbbell, right? And do the same thing. If you want to work the core a little bit more, right? Maybe you add a knee raise, either with or without the dumbbell, right? Step up, come right into that knee raise. Another cool thing that you can do is you can take that dumbbell and you can rotate over that lifted leg, right? So you can rotate over that lifted leg, and you're getting a little bit more balance, a little bit more stability, and a little more core activation. All right, so the second exercise in that series. The second exercise in this final series, we're just gonna use a band. And honestly, this isn't even a band, right? So this is, I got this at Home Depot. This is just a big rubber band, right? So, you know, I don't know, you guys have probably noticed this too. If you're watching this, you've probably been online, you've probably tried to order bands, you may have. I definitely, I know I have, and I have a lot of clients who have, and you can't right now because they're sold out. Everybody's buying home gym equipment, understandably so. So like this is Home Depot, right? Now, I mean, again, this has been a while since I got this. I don't even know where they are anymore, but you can use this. It's it's just a big rubber band. So what we're gonna do, right, is you're just gonna grab, you're gonna do a band pull apart. So we're gonna grab shoulder width, and you're just going to, right, extend. And we're gonna keep tension on those muscles back there the entire time. So we're working the muscles in the mid and upper back. We're working the back of the shoulders, the rear deltoid. And if you notice, I'm not moving far. I'm moving about 15 to 20 degrees maximum. And I'm just keeping that tension on those muscles the entire time. Now, for some people, this may irritate your, just create a lot of tension back up through there. If that's the case, drop your chin. Drop your chin. And that can sometimes help keep that from digging into that back, or digging in the back of the neck. All right, I hope this is helpful. Again, if it is, reach out, like it, do all that good stuff. I hope this video was helpful. If it is, wherever you're viewing this, like it, leave a comment. If you are in need of, that's right, a comment. If you're in need of any online personal training, right now I'm doing online training via Zoom. Feel free to reach out. I'm also doing small groups via Zoom, and I have a few classes that I'm doing as well. All right, take care, and aloha.